Welcome back into North Dakota. Today it is time for more Cooking with Cashway. We're here at Cashway Distributing. Randall, kind of what are we working on today? You could probably guess by what I have going on in front of me, but maybe not. What are we working on?
So this is applesauce.
Okay, I could have guessed.
One of my most favorite things to make. It's so simple. It's so easy. And what's really fun about this is that it's fun to do with kids.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think that's what, because when I was a kid, my mother kind of taught me how to peel vegetables. I cut potatoes, I cut apples. We had an apple tree in our backyard, so we'd always be doing applesauce, apple pie, things like that. So, I guess I took those things for granted until I started cooking professionally. Mm-hmm. And then when you reminded me earlier, I'm like, oh, what a great point. So, I of course did a lot of the heavy lifting there with the apples and the pears. But so typically applesauce has apples, but pears are not a far off cousin, are they?
I guess not. I didn't think about the relation between them before. But.
And then we're going to flavor this with a little bit of different way. So, your basic ingredients for an applesauce is going to be apples, of course, some kind of apple cider or apple juice, and then some sugar and some salt. Now, all of these things are based on the amount of sweetness that your apple is using. So here we used a Honeycrisp apple. Very sweet, really nice crisp texture. They cook down beautifully. And then with the pear, it depends on how ripe that pear is. Is the pear a little less ripe, or is it a little bit more ripe? So with that, the more ripe pear is going to have a little higher sugar content. So we can always back off on that. And then also, if you don't want to add any sugar, you don't have to, because there's plenty of sugar in that product.
Right.
Or fructose.
Right. A lot of high thinking. I wouldn't have even thought about the type of apple or how ripe the pear is.
Right.
I would have thought, yeah, just grab a bunch of apples and mash them up.
Well, and honestly, it's not that bad. We had Haraldsons in our backyard, and we had McIntosh in our backyard.
Okay.
So we would use either one of them. But now we have some really neat varietals like the Zestar, the Honeycrisp, and some of these other ones. So
all kinds of apples to play with.
Yeah.
All right.
So with the pear, a lot of times, cutting things can be a little scary for kids.
Or me.
Or anyone really. So I just peeled this, and then you mentioned, or you reminded me of when I was a kid, and that you said, well, isn't it a paring knife? And you're exactly right. It's a paring knife.
I love that I was making a joke and I turned out to be accurate.
But this is how my mother taught me to peel something. Apples, pears, whatever. So it's just something that I got used to. And I don't know if you saw this, but I choked up. Sports guy, right? Choked up. So by choking up, I have a little bit more control over that knife. If I'm way back here and I'm kind of doing this, a little riskier.
Right.
So by doing that, I have a little bit more control.
You did that so seamlessly too, just instantly. Just cut it up. And
I had a few years of practice.
I'm not going to do it nearly as smoothly.
Well, you don't have to.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for taking the pressure off me.
So this other one, we can just go in there, and it's kind of like an angle.
Okay.
But I'm going to I'm going to do this left-handed here. So we're going to cut kind of at an angle, and that way we kind of get that core. We get the I didn't do that very well left-handed.
Get everything out.
And then so now I have that. So it's am I going to waste a little bit more? Yeah, but
at the end of the day, you'll have plenty of pear.
So why don't you go ahead and do that one?
Gotcha. So what's my first cut here? Right down the middle?
Right straight down. Yep. Okay. Vertical half.
Very safely.
Now you've got your both halves. So now you want to do that angle cut.
Okay.
Keep it flat.
Gotcha.
If it's like this, it's rolling around and it's kind of hard to cut, right?
Right. That makes sense.
Scary. So by keeping that nice and flat, you can have a little bit more control.
Okay. So I want to go in from
that side, right? Yep.
Right here.
And it's kind of like a 45-degree angle right in there.
Right in there.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. We're gonna do this all in one smooth go.
Yeah. Not bad. Hey, that's good.
Did I cut it at all?
Yes, you did.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah. Oh, it's right here.
We don't
it's on the knife. That's how it's done, folks.
That knife is so sharp, it's just like this.
I know. I didn't even know I cut. And so I have a nice little section of pear here.
So
we'll I'm going to do the same to this guy. So you just go in.
And get your fingers on the way.
Yep.
There you go.
Thank you. You've saved my life.
There we go.
Finger, At least, yeah. Look at that. Okay.
And then we're going to cut that each half in half.
I didn't realize you'd already chopped up all of your pear.
It's not a race. So get that flat again.
It is to me. Okay.
Or something flat.
Gotcha. Okay, well, we're going to get this flat.
And then we're going to cut that in half.
Okay.
Perfect.
There we
go.
Just
go ahead and go chop, 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 chop all the way down.
Just right down. So like this?
Yep.
All right.
Now, the smaller we make these pieces, the faster they'll cook.
Okay, makes sense. Well, we're going to see how fast they cook next time, because we're going to make this into applesauce.